How much more annoying can I say that? Okay. Having exhausted the books Kenji lent me, in just a few nights I go back to the library, deeming it a safer alternative for getting my reading fix. I'm addicted to reading. I have a serious drug problem. I return the books he had stolen while I'm at it, to Yuko's delight. I don't tell her where I got them from, though, cause that'd be a dick move.
Wow, you sure read a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I guess I do. I'm quite the avid reader. Even if I think it's weird, I have a reading problem. Maybe I'm a junkie.
No, I didn't mean it that way. It's not weird at all. Being addicted to reading is a lot better than being addicted to something else.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was a joke. I smile at her reassuringly and drop the books on the counter so Yuko can check them out. I feel tired, so I sit down in the vacant chair in front of her desk. While Yuko goes through the modest pile of reading material I found, I let my gaze wander around the library. At the tables, a pair of girls is chattering in hushed tones, rather than working on their homework. The short-haired one notices me look in her direction and waves at me. When I raise my hand back, they glance at each other and giggle in unison. Not sure how I feel about that, so I decide it's a good thing. The one who waved at me has a horrible case of epilepsy. I saw her having an attack a few days ago. It's one of the most disturbing and scary things I've seen in a very long time. Yet there she is, happily chirping away about whatever, as if she doesn't care in the world. You know, this school is really something else. Yuko raises her eyes from the book she was going through, slightly startled. She adjusts her glasses and puts on a nervous, confused smile.
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't really know how to explain it. It's just that everyone's so active, or how should I put it? It's not just the festival thing, I think. Even though I haven't been here that long, it's everything. People talk more, work harder, and just are more than any other school I've ever seen before. I'm struggling for words, but it feels like I'm speaking honestly. So that's good. The school feels so alive. Does it make us feel like we're stuck, or is it refreshing? I feel like I need to start moving in some direction too. That's how this school makes me feel.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Oh, yeah, me neither. Suddenly I realized I've just been babbling my thoughts to Yuko out of the blue. She's a bit jumpy, so I fear I might have made a bad impression. She's looking at me with what I hope is curiosity rather than horror, so I figure she's alright. Sorry for talking about weird stuff like this. I didn't mean to trouble you.
Oh no, it's not troubling. I'm happy to listen if you feel like talking. It makes me feel reliable, too.
Yuko smiles sweetly and a little bit ironically at that. I respond with a thankful smile of my own. As she pushes the neat stack of books across the counter, I stand up and gather them in my arms.
Here you are.
Thanks, ma'am.
I guess we'll be meeting each other again soon. Please come here anytime.
Yuko's kindness is heartwarming. You can count on it, chickadee. See you later, alligator. Man, what a pimp. That was one chapter. That was really short. The morning of the track meet greets me with a brilliant sunshine from a crystal blue sky. While I leisurely stroll towards the track, I decide this is a good sign. Of what? I'm not sure, but this event isn't as exciting for me as it seems to be for a large portion of the student body. I'm even less interested in participating, but cheering for Emmy is a good cause. I'm not expecting this to be any sort of amazing, spectacular experience, but it can't hurt. I'd probably be spending the time reading while cooped up in my room otherwise. When I approach the bleachers, I spot Rin emerging from the crowd right before she spots me. You came. Oh, of course I did. I said I would, wouldn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through. Lots of people say things don't mean them. Oh, well, I don't. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored with our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. So you excited about this? All this in this general direction? Not really. Well, me neither. Then why did you come? Well, why did you? She doesn't reply at all, so I decide not to either. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. Rin leads the way, and soon we've settled down on an almost empty bench. Oh my! That's an older woman? Rin does not approve. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin, someone's mother, I assume. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives her an oddly familiar-seeming grin.
Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy.
Huh? This is no good? The woman laughs at Rin and shakes her head, apparently unable to find a comeback for that. I know the feeling.
Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't even introduced myself. Shucks. I'm Miko Ibarazaki. Oh gosh. I'm Mako Ibarazaki. I'm sure that if you know this girl, you at least met my daughter, too. Pleased to meet you.
Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, more motherly Emmy. And her boobs, I mean. Apart from her hair being somewhat darker than her daughter's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Asayo. Asayo Nakai, nice to meet you. I'm Rin Tezuka. Mrs. Ibarazaki laughs again. She really does resemble her offspring, and then leans back a little on her seat, raises an eyebrow.
So now that we all know each other, how long have you and Rin been dating?
My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled explanation, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again.
Oh, shucks, you're a blusher, aren't you?
I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. We're not,
I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry for giving a woman her amusements.
She chuckles again to herself. Whoa! Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. I suppose I can let it go.
How kind of you.
It's starting. Can we, get in the bed with her mom? I direct my attention to the track, where they're preparing for the first sprint. It looks like the 400-meter dash. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emmy. Wow. She's smiling with an almost cocky look on her face. The starter raises his pistol. Bam! Emmy explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. Look at the green-haired girl in the back. She's like,
I'm in the back.
It's amazing. Even as other sprinters converge on the lanes close to the inside line, Emmy surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, a few of the other runners have caught up with her, but she puts on a final burst of speed that leaves them at least a half second behind. Mrs. Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, "Oh, whoop, whoop!" applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emmy bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results.
Well, I think she's gotten faster since the last time.
Well, that was incredible. Mrs. Ibarazaki grins proudly.
Emmy's a heck of a runner.
We fall silent. The next event prepares to start. I'm surprised to see Emmy striding out onto the track again. Well, wait, did she just run? Emmy's mother nods.
Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it.
From the looks of things, she's right. Emmy doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hasn't run the previous event at all. It's not for the sweat visible on her shirt. You'd never know. Oh, which event is this?
It's a 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay.
Oh, I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emmy flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I assume the race is over. Sprints don't seem like they'd take very long to complete. Oh, your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. I thought you said this wouldn't be exciting. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. Oh, I don't follow. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. You don't get to see Emmy at her Emmiest very often. But here you can, see? She directs my attention toward the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. As she gets onto the starter blocks, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward in what could be a grin, and could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. As soon as she crosses the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Well, that's amazing. It's really amazing. I've never seen someone move that fast.
Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emmy's proudness comes from her father's side.
At the mention of Emmy's father, Mrs. Ibarazaki looks wistful, almost sad.
He got her in running, you know.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't know that. I leave it at that and don't say anything for a while. I get the feeling this is something personal I shouldn't ask about. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it.
Honestly, text messages? Was he 16?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her and then I'll call her later tonight?
Of course, ma'am. While waiting for the relay to start, I peer at Rin. She seems uninterested in her surroundings, myself included. The remark she made before is still stuck in my head. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. It does make sense now I think about it. After seeing her run now, I can't believe that Emmy gives her all on the track. Sports are more than a hobby or even a competition to her. They're a defining aspect of her life. What about Rin? Does she feel the same way about art? Considering the persistence she displays before the festival, I could easily believe it. Did I see Rin at her most Rin when she was painting the mural? Rin at her Rinniest? The relay is about to begin, but I don't see Emmy anywhere. Well, I thought Emmy ran the relay. She runs anchor, so she won't be running for a while yet. Oh. Did you see it? Huh? Emmy at her Emmiest? Oh, maybe. Maybe this time. The race begins, and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. How many times can we look at Emmy running and that green girl going, whoa! Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is
beautiful.
The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her Emmiest, I suppose. Emmy flies across the finishing line with a great leap, just barely ahead of the next runners, but still in first. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. The victor. See if you can find a laurel branch. Oh, that's not gonna be easy. Rin shrugs. I don't give a fuck. At least we tried. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Being more impatient than Rin, I wave to Emmy and her steed. She looks up and grins happily at us.
Oh, hey, you two showed up.
We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but Hasayo didn't find one. Well, neither did you. Wasn't my job to look. Well, when did we decide jobs? When I said see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. Come on. Come on, Hasayo. I shrug. Guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Oh, seems my fault after all, Emmy. My bad. Emmy laughs at Rin at me.
It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow.
Sure.
Good. So how'd it look?
Very impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that one already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow.
Great to hear. I was worried that I looked a little slow in the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh?
Emmy giggles, tee-hee, and then seems to remember something.
Oh, before I forget. Rin and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since today's Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of.
Sure, I'd love to.
Great, it's a promise then.
Right, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later.
Oh, I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it.
Hey, Abby, you're gonna miss the medal ceremony. I don't know what that was disgusting.
Oh yeah, thanks.
That was disgusting. She turns to Rin at myself.
You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late, Hasayo.
Emmy skips back to her teammates, leaving me and Rin by ourselves. Neither of us have the slightest interest in the post-competition ceremonies, so we silently get away and back to the quad. Rin yawns, not even trying to restrain herself, and shuffles around. I feel awkward, but less so if I was with someone else. Still, I'm left hanging, not knowing what I should say next. Well, Emmy was great, wasn't she? She was great. I'm very jealous of her. Why? Like I said, don't you think it's great to be able to really be yourself? It sounds weird coming from Rin. Well, I don't think you, of all people, should have trouble finding a way to express yourself. Don't you have your paintings? She turns to look at me. For the first time, I see in her eyes a strange, hollow expression that I think must be unique to her. No, you see, your problem is I really don't know who I am. Now that's an ending I can get behind. Hee hee, butts.